A quick warning before we start. This guide is a spoiler for patch 7.3 and the Dawntrail story. If you aren't up to this yet, I'd recommend clicking away and coming back when you're up to this dungeon. If you don't mind being spoiled or are ready to run this, let's continue. Hi, I'm the Scrub and you're here for one reason. Did no one think to check inside the giant gold beacon that's fashioned out of the tears of Kryl's parents? You know, for all their cutting-edge technology, there's a disturbing lack of security here. Oh right, I turned it off. Look, Calyx, I like to say that I hate everyone equally, but for you, I can make an exception. Time to learn about the Meso Terminal. Simplified. If you're using the duty support system, I'd recommend single pulling this dungeon. Head through the opening and turn right. As you're heading up the ramp, pick up the 3 droids. Continue to the top of the ramp and grab the last 3 enemies. Watch out for all of the AoEs and kill everything. When everything has been defeated, the door on the right will open. Head through this door and follow the path around to the left. As you approach the 3 medics, the illusion will dissolve and the real path will be revealed. Continue through to the infirmary where there are 4 extra medics. Again, watch out for the enemy AoEs and kill everything. When everything has been defeated, the path will be revealed and it's first boss time. Medicine Field is a room-wide AoE. When this goes off, there will be a lingering, green shimmering AoE around the outside of the arena. Touching this wall will give you a 15-second bleeding dot tick. The Chirurgeon General will move into the middle of the room and cause dispensers to activate around the arena. There will be text on screen and in the chat that reads, "Liquid chemical dispensers were into action." 4 dispensers will rise up from the grates around the arena with a 5th activating on the outside. The inside 4 dispensers will create 2 large and 2 medium-sized AoEs. The large AoEs will always be paired together and overlap. The safe zones will be between and around the 2 medium-sized AoEs. The dispenser on the outside will have a line of green arrows arcing into the arena between the AoEs of 2 dispensers. This point will have a circular set of green knockback arrows pulsing from it. After a few seconds, a segmented pentagon will appear above the green arrows. It will count down from 5 with a red partition fading to black every second. Once the countdown finishes, the knockback will go off. This is a large knockback, so you'll need to aim for the corner with a smaller AoE on the opposite side to avoid going into the wall. You can use knockback immunity or a well-timed gap closer to counteract this. Immediately after the knockback, each of the AoEs will get the same 5-second timer above them. When the countdown finishes, the AoEs will burst. Getting hit by any of these AoEs will give you a vuln stack. After this, the Chirurgeon General will face a cardinal direction and cast Biochemical Front. This is an arena-wide straight-line AoE in the direction he's facing. Move behind him to avoid the attack. Getting hit by this will give you a vuln stack. The green knockback arrows will appear again, but this time the boss will cast Sensory Deprivation. This is a room-wide AoE that will give you the status effect Insensible. There will be text on screen and in the chat that reads, "Your senses are dulled, preventing you from predicting attacks." Your vision will be distorted to make you see 2 green knockback circles instead of 1. This will also distort the timers and their countdown animation. Don't be fooled by the illusions. Although it's distorted, the sound of the countdown can still be heard. When the countdown finishes, only the original knockback will go off. Just stand next to the first knockback indicator when it spawns in, positioning yourself to be pushed towards an opposite corner and ignore the fake knockback. Concentrated Dose is a tank buster that gives the target an assumerable 15-second poison dot tick. After this, the dispensers will activate again and create their AoEs. Pay attention to where the locations of the safe zone and knockback indicator are as the boss casts another sensory deprivation. We're tripping out as the arena looks like it's covered in AoEs along with 2 knockback indicators. Again, don't be fooled because the safe areas have not changed. This first instance will always have the AoEs going off before the knockback, but in future, whichever mechanic gets the timer above them will go off first. If the AoEs are first, stand in the safe area and wait for them to go off before moving to take the knockback. If the knockback is first, either position yourself to be knocked into a safe spot or stand in a safe spot and use knockback immunity. From here, mechanics will repeat until the Chirurgeon General has been defeated. Exit the arena and take the transportation pad to the next area. Head down the hallway picking up the 3 claws. Continue around the corner and up the ramp to the claw and 2 bots. Avoid all of the AoEs and nuke everything down. When everything has been defeated, the door will open and the illusion will dissipate again. Pick up the 3 prisoners and continue to the second pack of prisoners next to the cells. Group them all up and kill everything. Once everything has been defeated, the door will glitch and disappear and it's second boss time. When you enter the arena, you will see 4 headsmen awaiting you. Upon being aggroed, they will each cast Lawless Pursuit, tethering them to a specific player and afflicting them with the following status effects. The Bloody Headsman will tether the healer and mark them with Alpha. The Pale Headsman will tether the tank and mark them with Beta. And the Pestilent and Ravenous Headsman will each tether a DPS, marking them with Delta and Gamma respectively. When they finish casting, the headsman will get a buff called Guard on Duty with a symbol that corresponds with the the symbol of their chosen player. As long as these status effects are active, all other enemies will be invulnerable to your attacks. They will all cast head-splitting roar, but it will only be a single room-wide AoE. Following this, each headsman will teleport to a different grate. The bloody headsman will be to the north, the pale headsman will be to the south, the pestilent headsman will be to the east, and the ravenous headsman will be to the west. They will then cast Shackles of Fate. After the cast finishes, they will each chain to their matching player as a ring of glowing chains encircles them. They will drag their chosen player to them inside the ring. This is now a personal battle of attrition. Any attempt at escape will give you a vuln stack and see you dragged back to the middle of your cage and bound in place for a couple of seconds, rendering you unable to dodge mechanics. The duels will begin with the following shared attacks. All of the headsmen will cast Dismemberment. When the cast finishes, 2 pairs of blades will appear on the edge of each square. A few seconds after they spawn in, they will dash across each grate in a straight line AoE. Move away from the first pair that spawns in, then move into where they dashed past to dodge the second pair. Getting hit by either of these will give you a vuln stack. After this, the headsman will cast Peel of Judgment. This will be 4 sets of narrow electric swords that will slowly move in sets of 2 across each grate at the same time. As they're not fast, you can very easily dodge around them. Getting hit by any of these will give you an Asurnable Paralysis debuff. As these swords start moving across, the headsman will either cast Execution Wheel or Chopping Block. Execution Wheel will be a donut AoE centered on them, and Chopping Block will be an AoE at their feet. Either way, you'll have to avoid the electric swords as well as the AoE. Getting hit by either AoE will give you a vuln stack. They will then cast Flaying Flail. A trio of spiked flails will descend above each player's cage in a triangular formation. Each will have a red beam showing where it will hit when dropped. These are small circular AoEs, but they don't leave a lot of room to be safe. You'll need to stand between the flails just inside the wall of chains to dodge the attack. Getting hit by any of the flails will give you a vuln stack. After this, role-specific mechanics will be mixed in for each player. The pale headsman's slow cast of Will Breaker is interruptible. If this is not interrupted, it will inflict an unassumable 10-second physical vulnerability up debuff. Following this, Relentless Torment is a triple hit tank buster. If you have the physical vuln up and don't invuln or heavily mitigate this, it can delete you. The bloody headsman will put a red icon above their target's head and cast Death Penalty. This inflicts an Asurnable 10-second doom debuff that must be dispelled before the timer expires, or it will dispel your health bar instead. The DPS will each get a Hellmaker Furnace on the outside. These will target the middle of the grate and play The Floor is Lava, inflicting an Unasurnable Burns dot tick. DPS will need to target and destroy their Hellmaker as fast as possible. The Pestilent and Ravenous Headsman will cast another Peel of Judgment and another round of Flaying Flail, so dodge around these as best you can. If you take too long to defeat the Hellmaker Furnace, it will engulf the grate in a blazing fire and very quickly incinerate you. Healers, if you've got nothing better to do, you can assist with the Hellmakers. Following this, the Headsman will cast Serial Torture. This is a combination of Dismemberment, Flaying Flails, and Execution Wheel or Chopping Block happening one after the other. You'll need to dodge the first set of blades, then dodge the flails, then avoid the second set of blades, and finally get in or out to avoid the AoE. What I do as a tank or healer is I'll stand on the outside next to the blade that will be going down the edge of the grate. After it goes off, move to the edge of the circle and dodge the flails. You will have to move a few steps to either side to avoid them. As long as you're in this spot, you will preemptively be out of the way for the second set of blades. And finally, dodge in or out depending on the AoE. For the DPS, it's a little more complicated, but here's what I do. Stand on the same side and close to where the middle blade spawned in. After the blades go off, you'll need to look for where the flails are and step into the safe zone to avoid them before they hit the grate. After this, dodge so you avoid the second set of blades. There's a chance you may need to step into the path of the second set of blades for a moment to avoid the flails and then quickly step back to dodge the blades before they slice through. You'll then need to move in or out to dodge the final AoE. From here, mechanics will begin to repeat. As soon as you defeat your boss, you'll lose the status effect and the chains will break. You'll now be able to attack the other bosses still tethered to your fellow party members. If you do die during this fight, your headsman will not attack another player. Instead, it will sit there until you are revived, in which case you will immediately become chained again. If a player goes down after someone else has defeated their headsman, the now unpartnered headsman will kidnap the freed player. However, their headsmen are nothing if not loyal and will ditch their substituted player if you are revived and ensnare you again. Mechanics will cycle until all 4 headsmen have been defeated. Head out of the boss room and up the stairs, grabbing the 2 turrets and the data garter. Drag them outside and around the corner to the right to pick up another 3 data garters. Avoid all of the AoEs as best you can and kill everything. When everything has been defeated, walk over the transportation pad to be launched to the next area. Turn left and follow the path. As the illusion dissipates, head over the bridge and grab the 3 soldiers. Once you're inside the ruined building, the remaining soldiers will become targetable. The paladins will cast circular AoEs called Steel-Forged Belief, but these can be stunned or interrupted. When everything has been defeated, the rubble at the bottom of the stairs to the left will disappear. Head up the stairs, turn left at the top, and cross the bridge to move on to the next area. When you load in, it's final boss time. This arena will not have any walls, so try not to fall off. Recollection is a room-wide AoE. Immortal remains will cast Memento, and a picture of droids in Alexandria will be projected in front of it. After a few moments, the picture will explode into gold light, projecting the image of Alexandria onto the background. Untargetable bygone aerostat droids will appear on the west and south sides of the arena. In 2 separate patterns, the boss will target 5 points in the arena in a line running from the northeast to the southwest corners. One will be 3 points with 2 in the corners and 1 in the middle, and the other will be 2 points on the spaces inside of the corners. These patterns can be in either order and will appear one after the other. These points will spawn shades of Alexandrian citizens. As they appear, the droids will tether to these shades and cast Electray, which is a straight line AoE in the direction of the tether. These will tether to and go off in the same order as the shades that spawned in. You can stand with the second set of shades that spawned in and wait for the first set of AoEs to go off before moving into where the first set of shades were to dodge the attack. Getting hit by any of these straight line AoEs will give you a bone stack. After this, one player will get a straight line stack marker with the cast of Memory of the Storm. Group up to share the damage. Immortal Remains will cast Memento again. This time the image will be of Alexandria under attack. The background will change to a war-ravaged Alexandria on fire. The boss will then tether to 6 points in the arena, 3 on the west side and 3 on the east side. One side of tethers will spawn a single shade each, and the other side of tethers will spawn 3 groups of 5 shades. You'll need to get to the opposite side of the arena to the groups of shades, as well as staying clear of the single shades, as after several seconds, targeting circles will briefly appear underneath each shade as bombs are fired upon them. The single shades will each have a small circle, and the groups will have massive circles that completely cover their side of the arena. Getting hit by any of these explosions will give you a Von stack. Right after this, there will be words on screen and in the chat that reads, "The Immortal Remains is gathering energy." It will raise one of its hands to slapper the floor. As it slaps the ground, it will cleave that entire side of the arena. So you just want to get to the opposite side to the raised arm to avoid the attack. Getting hit by this cleave will give you a Von stack. Following this, it will tether to 8 points around the arena. Each of these spaces will either spawn a group of shades or a single shade. The opposite corners of the arena will always have the same number of shades. Keep your eye out for which corners have the single shades. After this, there will be a blue knockback indicator in the middle of the arena. The boss will wind up and slam its fist onto this spot, knocking back all players. This is a harsh knockback, so you will need to position yourself on the edge of the knockback indicator to be pushed towards a corner with a single shade. Right after the knockback goes out, all of the shades will get the same targeting circles from the previous mechanic, so you'll need to avoid them. You can also stand in a safe spot and use knockback immunity to nullify the push. If you don't aim for a corner when the knockback goes off, you'll be flung off and become one with the scenery. And if you stand in the knockback circle, your face will become deeply intimate with the fist. Memory of the Pyre is a tank buster. Immortal Remains will cast Memento again and show a picture of lightning strikes. It will then change the background to a destroyed Alexandria. The boss will then tether to 6 points at the front of the arena and spawn in shades of Alexandrians in 2 groups. One group will run from north to south and the other will run diagonally from corner to corner. As the shades are running, lasers will follow their paths, creating thick straight line electric AoEs that will be approximately half of the arena wide. You'll need to move out of their path to dodge the attack. The easiest safe spot is to be on the opposite side from where the diagonally running shades are fleeing to. Getting hit by any AoE will give you a Von stack. The mechanic will repeat with the groups of shades swapping sides. This means the north to south group will now run corner to corner instead, and vice versa. To keep your melee uptime, there is an additional safe spot. Get to the middle of the north edge of the arena. If you look down, you'll see a triangle that isn't symmetrical, and if that annoys you as much as it annoys me, you're not alone. Around the point of this triangle will be a small triangular safe zone for both of these patterns. Standing on this north point means you'll only have to move 1 or 2 steps to either side to avoid each attack. As the second set of shades start running, the aerostat droids will spawn in on the sides of the arena. The boss will then spawn in the single shades, and the aerostat droids will tether these shades and cast their straight line AoEs. Dodge the lattice AoEs as best you can. Right after this, there will be another half-room slap, so make sure you look for whichever hand the boss is raising and get to the opposite side. The boss will again spawn 2 groups of running shades with their thick straight line AoEs. However, they can now spawn in the south as well as running west-east or east-west. The group running diagonally will always spawn in the north. If both groups are north, the easy safe zone will be the same as the previous mechanic. If there's one group in the south, this southern group will always run east or west, so the safe zone will be to the north on the side without shades. Look out for which direction these shades run and avoid the large straight line AoEs as best you can. From here, mechanics will repeat until the Immortal Reigns has been defeated. Congratulations, you have completed the Meso Terminal. My name is The Scrub. Thank you for watching.